Hi everyone, I'm Theresa Vee and this is the place to be if you're a sensitive empath with a big mission who would like to feel more loved, supported, and have more energy available to you. Each month, I check in with our beloved angels to see what advice they have to help us to navigate the energies on this planet for the next month. This month, our angels share with us the unexpected side effects of our tendency to overwork, as well as how to recognize and remedy them. How to identify the energy leaks we didn't even know were there and start to plug them. The angels are using the B word and sharing why it's essential to us and our well-being moving forward. Where we can find safety and sanctity even in the hardest times. And the magical ingredient that will help you sink more into your purpose as it exists now. Stay tuned. As the caretakers of the world, we as a group overwork. We put so much into helping other people, showing up with integrity, making sure everything that we wanted to accomplish, especially when it comes to others, is done and checked off the list. This often leaves us with very little energy for what we need to accomplish for ourselves and or to even take care of ourselves. So our angels are acknowledging our tendency to overwork, and they're asking us to notice it as well. They're saying that a lot of us are noticing that it's taking a long time to get even the simplest thing done, or that it feels like we're constantly swimming upstream. Some of us for a little bit of time, and some of us have felt that way for years. This feeling of swimming upstream and being unable to get things done, spending a lot of time on a task and not being able to check it off. Those are all good indications that it's time for us to take a break, to go and do something, just to refuel ourselves, to have some fun. They also want to acknowledge that they know there's a feeling inside of us that we have this big mission, that we are here to take care of some things. Especially now, it's almost like there's a fire burning and a sense of urgency, a sense of being riled up. We know, our body knows that we're here to show up at this time, that we are here to help the world move forward. We're feeling the pressure of that. But right now, we're still in an integration period. The world is shifting, the energy is shifting. We're in this new paradigm, and our systems are figuring out how to be. There's still rewiring going on, and there's integration and assimilation of the changes that have already taken place. So expecting ourselves to go full force into what comes next is not realistic. We need a little time for the adjustment. We need to figure out how our feet rest on the ground before we can walk forward. And the angels are asking us, just give yourself permission to have this time. Give yourself permission as this fire builds inside of you, as this feeling of pressure is building. Know that you are supported. And when the time is right, you will receive clear guidance. At the same time, one of the most important things we can do is take care of ourselves, refuel, make sure that our needs are met during this time of integration. The angels have been telling us over and over and over that depleted light workers will no longer be able to live their mission. We need to be coming from a place of surplus so that we can live our own personal lives the way we're being called to set the example for other people as we all move forward as a world. There will no longer be the tolerance of being in lack and limitation energy. And when we spend all of our energy on other people or other things and leave nothing for ourselves, we are moving in the energy of lack and limitation. And this is not moving into the new paradigm. So we will feel stuck, we will feel stalled until we refuel ourselves and have enough energy to move forward and to feed the world in the way that we do with the surplus, with the excess. This is about practicing the art of letting the angels, letting our divine team, letting your higher self and the divine support you in the way that you know every other person is supported. As the healers of the world, our frequencies beam out. And people are able to find us, find that frequency, and they're attracted to it like moths to a flame because we have an energy that helps them to feel better. And you've noticed this. You might just be in the grocery store and someone walks up to you and shares a problem they've been having and they skip away. And sometimes it feels good to you that you've helped somebody and they feel better. Other times you might have been low energy that day and now you're left feeling like you're mired in someone else's problem that they've just thrown onto you. Some of these people that are so used to you, allowing them to plug into you, to go into your energy field and then just leaving. Those people are still acting in the old way. Everyone in the world in the last year and a half has been called to examine their own lives, is feeling the necessity of change within their personal life and within the world. Many of us have sat with that and are examining the change that we're feeling and how we are being asked to show up. And this is part of that change. There are people in our lives who are not as comfortable sitting in this place of uncertainty, of the unknown. And they're putting out their energetic tendrils to find those places where they can plug in and feel better because they're so uncomfortable in the in-between. And so as healing forces on this planet, our energy fields are open to that. It's time for us to become aware, especially since we are being asked to be conscious of how much energy we leave for ourselves, to be conscious of being too tired, too depleted to continue to live our mission here. To notice who is plugging into us instead of plugging into themselves, who is defaulting to the old ways of pulling energy from people with healing frequencies, instead of staying with themselves in the uncomfortability and examining what gems of knowledge, what seeds of change it holds for them. So this is the time for us to truly stand in our ability to set loving boundaries, to be there for people in a different way as they move through what's coming up for them. We are being asked to no longer just allow anyone to plug into our fields, to be conscious, to be so embodied that we start to feel when energy is being drawn from us without having given our permission. This is part of the shift that we're being asked to make. We're being asked to be in our bodies now. Evolution on this planet involves all of the light workers being fully embodied. Who and what is pulling on your energy field today without your permission, or maybe with permission you gave a very long time ago that you are ready to change? You can update your boundaries. You can lovingly enact them and still show up for people in a way that allows you to have more energy available, that allows them to start standing in their own power, doing their own work. Remember, when we do someone else's dharma, when we allow them to put it on us, we're also taking on their karma. We're taking on the lessons that they need to learn, and we have enough of our own lessons, especially now when we've moved through so much. We've been allowed to bypass some of them with divine dispensation, and now we need to beam our frequency out. And when we enact boundaries with love, we can allow people to come towards that frequency, but not to plug into it without our permission. You see the difference? That there's the drawing from versus the basking in. And this doesn't put us above or below someone else. We've all basked in someone else's beautiful frequency at one time or another, whether it was a grandparent who just beamed out so much love to us, or a spiritual teacher that held us in a frequency where we seemed to transcend time and space. Letting ourselves be with that frequency then also shows us how to hold it for ourselves. So when we are being the lighthouse and spreading our light far and wide, people are able to observe it, to feel its glow, and then figure out how to embody it themselves versus plugging themselves into the lighthouse, drawing current, and leaving, swimming back to shore when they're done. They've not learned anything. We are being asked to change those patterns. Our angels want us to remember that when we start to feel uncomfortable with this embodiment, one of the fastest ways to change energy is to move our body. We can start to move through blockages. We can run energy through ourselves. We can shake it off. And we can move our body in whatever way feels good to us at any moment or is accessible to us that day. Each one of us has a different level of movement available to us each day. So listen to your body. Let it move in the way that feels available, accessible, and enjoyable to you every day. To change our thoughts, to get out of repetitive cycles, and to change energy, all we have to do is move our muscles. Because we can't be in a deficit of energy as we move forward and still live our mission, when we are feeling tired or we've expended too much energy or we just have low energy one day, we'll find that our clarity is affected, that we are not able to connect and feel messages the way we normally would. This is a good sign that you need to support yourself in some way. No more depleted light workers means that we will have to feel a little bit shut off until we get ourselves to the level where we can once again connect. This will be our barometer just for a little while so that we are becoming conscious of where that boundary is. A lot of us don't know when we move into having given too much. We don't have the vocabulary for that, nor do we necessarily feel it in our body. And at this time, we're learning where that edge is. Where is it that I move from having given just enough to having given too much? That edge is exactly where we lose our connection to our guidance. We lose the clarity, the ability to know what it is that comes next. And this is a period of learning, of figuring out how to be in this new paradigm. This will shift and change, but we really need to become conscious so that we can avoid this pattern and change it. So if you're someone who's been feeling disconnected, examine, where is it that I need to support my body? Where do I need to support my system? What can I do to care for this vessel, this beautiful embodiment that I have chosen this lifetime? As soon as you get your energy back, you'll be able to connect again. The angels want to remind us that no matter what, when we bring ourselves into this present moment, when we bring our head to where our feet are planted, everything is okay. You could be moving through the worst thing that you've experienced in your entire life. And obviously, that is not okay. It's going to bring up a lot of feelings. It's going to bring up a lot of things that you have to walk through. But if you bring all of your awareness and all of your attention to this very moment, you will be okay. Hear your guidance. Connect with your breath. You will be able to start putting one foot in front of the other. All of the support and guidance and energy of the entire universe resides in the present moment. So bringing ourselves there will allow us to feel safe, to feel the blessings and the support of heaven and of others, because we have let go of the fears and the anxiety connected with the past or the future. At this time, so many people have been feeling disconnected from their purpose, unclear about what their purpose is, or that there's some sort of shift that's happening in their lives, finding it very difficult to go back to doing the same thing that they were doing if it felt misaligned in the first place. So our systems have been cleansed. Our systems are being called into creating more alignment with our soul in this physical experience. And the most gorgeous thing that we're seeing is that even people who don't resonate with being spiritual are feeling this shift as well. We are in a more heart-centered paradigm. We are in a paradigm that moves from truth. And even though we're in the in-between right now, and sometimes that can feel like a big disconnect, This is one of the indications that we are moving in this direction. So our angels are telling us to let our purpose unfold. And they're saying, don't worry, you will not miss your guidance. It will come back because it is true guidance. They want us to pay attention to our dreams. They also want us to remember what our dreams were when we were little children. Because if you're feeling completely disconnected from your purpose, going back to remembering what brought you joy as a child, what did you want to accomplish in this lifetime, will give you an indication of what your soul was speaking to you about then. And chances are that is somehow still very, very connected with how you feel called to show up now. We can ask for our guidance to be broken down into smaller steps. And the angels want us to know that our guidance often shows up in ways that we would least expect, as well as steps to take that we would least expect. This is so that we know it's true guidance and that it is not our ego or our personality getting involved. True guidance will very often make absolutely no sense on paper. When we take those leaps, when we step into the guidance, resources and support magically appear. When we are in trust, which is the secret ingredient, it is the magical component, we will be supported. What we're being asked to do feels completely aligned, but how we're going to do it is another story. That's where we start to feel uncomfortable. So our divine team wants us to know that when we step into that guidance, when we start to follow the steps that are laid out in front of us, that support will always show up. And if we're feeling like we need support in a way that it's not showing up, we need to tell our guides, our angels, the divine, that that is the way we need support. We can lay it out. If this is the guidance I'm to follow, this is how I need to be supported. But we also need to leave room for the magic. We need to leave the doors open because support will show up in ways beyond what we expect. So remember, trust is the magical ingredient to living a life full of purpose, regaining our clarity, and knowing that we are fulfilling our soul's mission. That feels really complete for this month. If you would like to feel more loving support from your angels as well as from aligned community, please join us for our next Angel Transformation Hour. This call is completely donation-based, and the angels will share their wisdom with us, as well as answer your personal questions about anything and everything that would help you to be more in a space of peace in your life. Our angels want each of us to feel as centered and whole as possible so that we can shine our light out fearlessly and without limitation. The link to sign up is in the description of this video or in the comments below. I look so forward to being on that call with you and supporting you on your journey in connecting with yourself and your angels. And as always, thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, hit the like button and share it with friends and family who need this information as well. I'm sending you so much love and gratitude, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.